The entrance to the Sphinx. Rare image shows possible entrance into the Great Sphinx of Giza. Are there entrances that lead into the Sphinx? According to numerous accounts and rare images of the Great Sphinx of Giza, it is very likely that there are cavities, chambers, and tunnels that lead beneath one of the most enigmatic ancient monuments on Earth. This is a rare image of the Sphinx taken from a hot air balloon in the early 19th century. This is before excavation and restoration. Notice the huge hole located on the head of the Sphinx. The Great Sphinx of Giza is without a doubt one of the most enigmatic ancient monuments on the planet. This marvelous ancient piece of architecture remains one of the few ancient pieces of work that nobody bothered to take credit for, and mainstream scholars have been perplexed by its mysterious history for years. At 241 feet long and 66 feet high, the Great Sphinx of Giza holds the record as the largest monolith statue on the surface of the planet. But its beauty and mystery go far beyond its size. The Great Sphinx was discovered, almost completely covered in sand, in AD 1817, when the first modern archaeological dig, led by Giovanni Battista Caviglia, managed to uncover the Sphinx's chest completely. After a couple of decades, the entire Sphinx was finally excavated in 1925 to 1936 by an archaeological expedition led by Emile Barriais. Many researchers suggest that the Sphinx is incomplete. It was left half-finished by its original builders. According to numerous discoveries, scholars speculate that the Sphinx was originally intended to be a much greater accomplishment than what we are able to see today. However, the incredible size and mysterious beauty are not the only things that have baffled researchers. The fact that scholars have no idea who erected this majestic monument only adds to the mystery of the Great Sphinx, which has already been the center for countless speculations connecting it to lost civilizations and extraterrestrial beings. In fact, there are some scholars like Mark Lehner and Graham Hancock point towards an alignment between the Great Sphinx, the pyramids of the Giza Plateau and the River Nile in relation with the constellations of Leo, Orion and our galaxy the Milky Way. However, perhaps the biggest mysteries are located within and below the Sphinx itself. Many researchers have long proposed that there are many chambers located within the Great Sphinx and below it. Some have even suggested that the mythical Hall of Records is located right below this mysterious ancient monument. It is said that the Hall of Records holds the key to understanding our civilization and the real history of humanity. Mythologically, it is said to be a library buried somewhere in Egypt, and many people believe it could be located under the enigmatic Sphinx of Giza, watching tall and proud over the pyramids of the Giza Plateau. The Hall of Records is said to house the knowledge of the ancient Egyptians documented in ancient papyrus scrolls and is believed to account for the history of the lost continent of Atlantis, as well as its location. Compared in importance, the Egyptian Hall of Records is just as the Great Library of Alexandria, which housed Grecian knowledge. While those who believe the Hall of Records exists was built by the ancient Egyptian civilization, there are others who think that the hall existed but was not built by the ancient Egyptians, but rather by a much older ancient civilization that predates the ancient Egyptian. Curiously, there are several extremely rare and old images of the Sphinx, which show what appear to be numerous entrances into the enigmatic monument. These entrances are believed to lead into passageways that ultimately reach vast chambers located under the Sphinx. These chambers have long been associated with mysterious underground libraries filled with ancient texts that could piece together the unknown history of mankind. In the book Message of the Sphinx, Graham Hancock and Robert Borval state that the Egyptian government together with American archaeologists have blocked any investigations around or underneath the Sphinx, preventing anyone from locating the underground cavities and finding out what is located beneath the Sphinx. Several photos indicate there is a strong possibility that there are shafts and passageways leading towards unexplored chambers underneath the Sphinx. Interestingly, Charles Thomson, who explored the Sphinx in 1733, mentioned entrances and a hole in the top of the back of the Sphinx. Professor Robert Temple inside cavities located in the rear part of the Great Sphinx. Rare images of the Sphinx show numerous anomalies that were covered up by late restorations. There are images of the Sphinx, which show a huge fissure on top of the hips of the Sphinx, which many claims led to the burial chamber. According to secrethistory.wiki.com, there is also documented evidence of a large rectangular entrance on top of the hips at the back of the Sphinx. This entrance measured 4 feet x 2 feet in size and is mentioned in many travelers' reports of visits to the Sphinx. This shaft and burial chamber that it leads to is thought to have been formed during pharaonic times, to form a retrospective burial chamber, which a few people gained access to. However, it is well known that there are many discoveries made in Egypt that have not been released to the public. There are also reports of numerous excavations that have been halted by the Egyptian government for reasons of national security. One of the best examples is the enigmatic labyrinth discovered in 2008 by a group of Belgian and Egyptian researchers. The underground temple consists of over 3,000 rooms which are filled with incredible hieroglyphs and paintings. The enigmatic underground complex is located less than 100 kilometers from Cairo at Hawara, not far from the Pyramid of Amenemhat III. This incredible discovery has been kept away from society under mysterious circumstances. The results of the expedition were published in 2008 shortly in the scientific journal of the NREG, and the results of the research were exchanged in a public lecture at the University of Ghent. Media from Belgium attended. However, the finding was quickly suppressed since the Secretary-General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, Egypt, put a halt to all further communications about the discovery due to Egyptian national security sanctions. This means that it wouldn't be a surprise that cavities, chambers, and tunnels discovered under the Sphinx have been dealt with properly by the authorities in order to keep whatever is below the Sphinx, a secret hidden from society.